This little piece is called The Sunday School Outing. The past is a pretty mixed bag of things good and things bad. And I don't know why, but we always recall with the greatest of ease what we'd rather forget, and yet lose what we'd choose to remember. But at least the embers of childhood's blaze bright days still gleam in the evening of our life and give us some light relief. So into the reed-rimmed, cold, dark depths of the mountain lake of my memories I cast a line and catch a real beauty, the Sunday school outing, not to Barry, but Ponsarn. Way, way back in the late and long-lamented 1920s, I was just another dirty, wet behind the years young mongrel pup who followed every rainbow to a crock of gold, whose every day dawned full of promise, a promise never to be broken. So long ago they seem, those days, those busy, dizzy, dream come true, bold, rosy-tinted, blurred-edged days, when Merthyr was the centre of the earth, and all the stars, the sun and the moon revolved around Wales, and Wales alone, when coal was king, and steel his queen, and I was a prince of their domain. When early birds would catch the worms and drop them down Baron Bowen's dress, oh, how she'd scream. Then engines on the valley lines were shining green and powered by steam, and sardine tramcars slithered down the high street to be caught or dodged by shopping mams with bawling prams. Then all the world, oh, had well-oiled wheels, which ran, of course, on rails of Dowlas iron. So long ago it was, but I remember. I remember Merthyr Station, full as an egg, of white-scrubbed and yoke-freed, beaver-eager and holiday-happy Sunday school kids, waiting for the Great Western Gospel train to steal them away to the green-grassed, clean-taffed picnicker's paradise of Ponsarn. And I see again through my mind's misty eyes, through the smoke and the crowd, the two bookend Bible teachers supposedly in charge. The larger-than-life and twice as ugly, icy-eyed, bellowing bulk of old Bullnose Morris, and the pale as a daisy and 3 times as delicate, twittering, shriveled-up shadow of Birdie Rowlands. May they both rest in peace, the peace that they never got from us. Departure time arrived at last. The signal nodded its approval for our train to pass, and the guard's dog-deafening whistle blasted fit to shatter all the glass in John Street. Then the platform, like a back projection, slid gently past the carriage window, and we were on our way. With our little locomotive, huffing and puffing like a storybook wolf, we headed for the hills, circling Merthyr like a minute hand, and just as slowly, clicking rhythmically over the rail joints, bucking and tossing over some not-so-fine ponts, like a schooner in a typhoon. And across the salty sea of decades drift to me now, flotsam voices from the scuppered vessel of the past. What sandwiches you got? Ham and marto, what you got? Crocodile. Miss, how old is God? Dorcas Jones got a real crush on you, Di. Aye, she's an afflickable boa constrictor. Reverend Evans said Jesus would be with us today to watch over us, but I can't see him anywhere. He must have missed the train, man. There's no such thing as crocodile sandwiches. Miss, the Bible says the very hairs of our head are numbered. Would I be able to see the numbers on mine under a microscope? We jostled and joked and talked and fought a few short miles away, and in next to no time we were pulling up at a wayside wooden-hutted platform bearing a big board with the slogan, Pont San Favena. It's a pity to get out so soon, I said to a friend. Let's hide under the seat and go on. The Pont Stickich, or Scotland. Friend in question was a little ginger-franged livewire called Richard, who on account of his face full of freckles was known to everyone as Spotted Dick. For all of 5 minutes the tiny station was a hive of activity as the Queen Bee, namely Bullnose Morris, tamely assisted by her sidekick, or drone, Birdie Rowlands, tried to sting or honey talk the sun-drunk swarm of children into some semblance of order. Then, leaving peace to tiptoe back in our wake, we sallied forth to tear open the gift-wrapped day and savour to the full what deep delights might be revealed. We played football, and a fool, cricket with jacket wickets, conventional classics like Cowboys and Indians, and mind-boggling hybrids like Leap Spy and I Frog. We scrapped and we kidnapped, we catnapped and man-trapped, we bickered, sniggered, swigged ginger beer, burped, beg pardon, arm-wrestled, carved our initials on trees, hid and sought, munched maggoty apples, baited bullnose and laughed like tickled hyenas. We pulled Tidville Thomas's pigtails, threw Tom Pew in the stinging nettles and then gave him dock leaves to rub on the rash, told each other hilariously unfunny jokes, and swam like freshwater fish, and sang like a choir of grubby and tone-deaf angels. Tired of her teasing, Diaries and I discussed in earnest that we might best assist his little sister meet her maker. Let's tie her to the tracks, I said, with granny knots. No, he replied, we'll just toss her off the viaduct. Not so messy. But only the good die young, and her creator is still awaiting the displeasure of her company. Suffering from sunstroke, Neville Llewellyn went down on one knee and asked Angharad Hughes to marry him. And 10 years later he proposed to her again, but hell had still not frozen over. Walter Williams burned holes in paper, and Eunice Lewis's skirt with his Sherlock Holmes pocket magnifier. Mavis Davis had a nosebleed and reddish bread for dinner. Atlas Harris, showing off for the girls on a rock in the river, flexing his cockles, slipped and fell in, rather dampening his enthusiasm. I hadn't laughed so much since Tory Roberts, also known as Sir, was nearly run over, warts and all, by a Giles and Harrop brewery dray. And funnily enough, the drink that we drove him to did take him in the end. And there in that carefree valley, cleft between the galleried pits of hell and the mist-kissed hills of heaven, in a twin-tongued country, caught between the devil and the deep blue Irish Sea, we passed our innocence, happiness away. Under a beaming sun as yellow and proud as a St. David's Day daffodil. So very long ago it was. So very long, but I remember as if it was just yesterday. Thank you very much.